But if you go to the interview and don't get the job, people probably feel like me never qualified, that's why I'm gonna get the job. If I never qualify, you to get the call. So the call shows that you already qualified. So what you need to work on now is your attitude in the interview. Preparing for an interview. And we Jamaicans, we win interviews flying. All you need to know is how to position your skill and make it transfer to any industry.
And even if you're not an adaptable person per se, you have to be. The mindset has to shift. You have to be adaptable.
Yep.
Have to. Because if you're not adaptable, you're not get the job.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond the 9 to 5. I'm your host, Oshido Christie.
I'm your host, Carl Johnson.
This podcast will be focused on sharing our experiences and perspective when it comes on to being an entrepreneur and working a 9 to 5 and what it takes to build that life.
Today's topic will be focused on how to change your career without any qualifications and with minimal risk.
Yes, sir. Oh, news! Yeah, boy, got married. Married, bro. Been MIA, we're back with the ring.
I was there, it's
with
true.
the ring.
Oh, and beard.
It just sprout out of nowhere, isn't it?
Did it though?
Yeah, man. So I could dive into it, you know, man.
So, today's topic is an interesting topic so far. I haven't really jumped into it, but off camera was an interesting topic. The part where we decided that it was interesting was the risk part. We realized that most persons who are trying to make a transition from one career, speech impediment, guys, career to the next, don't really talk about the risk. It's unsaid. It's like, oh yeah, it have to work out. No, it doesn't. As I said last episode, failure might choose you.
Yeah.
Reference to last episode. But we're gonna speak about the risk and how to minimize the risks of jumping from one part to the other, basically.
And you know, say when I mention the risk, I don't think it's a case where persons don't consider the risk when switching careers. I think it's a case where people overanalyze the risk, and because of that, then don't make the move. So because you can't see exactly how it go play out, people decide not to do anything because all of them mind what if? What if it don't work out? What if me do this and then me don't get a job? What if this? What if that? It's not about ignoring the risk management, you know. It's about learning how to navigate your internal fears. Because the internal fears really prevent you from taking that step forward.
True.
Because you know it's a changing career how you want. You don't feel fulfilled in the career where you're in right now. You know say, I need to switch. I want to switch. But you say you want to switch for years, for months, for weeks, for how long? But because of fear, I not experience. How I go get into this? I don't want to go back to school. But at the end of the day, stuff like them, those are the risks I talk about. But it's not really risk of fear.
Fear.
Right? So I feel like that's one of the main things that kind of stop people from move forward.
And in terms of the transition, I think that person should think about the relief. Imagine the relief you will feel once you switch from this to the next. Literally, the relief you feel when you close that door, not the door close on you. You close one door or they open a different door. I want you can imagine that relief. I think that the fear will be minimized. Fear will always be there. We need fear. But the fear will be minimized. What do you think?
I think you're right. But then still need to get past the idea of that fear holding them back. And that is the hardest part. That is the hardest thing. Because even though we know say a fear has stopped with, what can we do about the fear? That's the issue. Right? How can you let fear not hold you back from taking that step forward? Faith. That only other.
It works.
That's the only thing else we can think
works.
About. It works.
Because faith by itself, you know, it's good and all. Yeah, faith, but you need to put in somewhere, lay some building blocks to jump and make that change. Yeah. At that point, when you start to lay the building blocks, you know that the risk will be minimized right there. In terms of the topic, The formal qualifications part is a big part of it
Mm-hmm.
because you want to move from A to Z, but you have nothing between that to make that transition. Well, rather, you think that you have nothing between that to make that transition.
Exactly.
You might have garnered skills,
Mm-hmm.
experiences, you might have a certain qualification that you might not have looked on as something that's all that,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like a primer. It was a primer to make the switch. It's something that you need at that point in time to make the switch.
True. And that comes back to it as well. And when we mention the fear thing, and now when you think about the fear and the formal qualification, that's what sparked the fear. The fact that you don't have what you think
You need.
you need. When in reality you do have what you think you need. You just don't know how to position your
That
skills.
is it.
Because skills where you have in the industry we're in a now, based on what industry or transition in a can be applied.
Give them an example, sir.
Alright, let me find one example. So let's say you used to do social media marketing, little bit of accounting, and customer service, right? And now you are going to real estate, completely different industry,
Completely
right?
different.
And you see the job description, and the job description, I'm gonna give you 3 items of a job description. So the job description say input, maintenance, and water invoice and respective accounts in QuickBooks, right? So when you write your resume, instead of just putting QuickBooks efficiency, you would write something like utilize QuickBook and Microsoft Office application to maintain and produce financial records. That now give them an idea that you not just know how to use QuickBooks, you know how to provide and generate financial records.
And then can I drop into that? Let me read it. Utilize QuickBooks and Microsoft Office applications to maintain and produce financial records. Listening to that, it sounds way more professional.
Yeah.
Just off the bat, it's like, okay, what else can this person do?
All right.
Yeah.
Right. You know just have to say QuickBook efficiency.
No.
Right. So it kind of give the HR officer more insight into what you're actually capable of.
And that makes them want to interview you and listen to what you're really capable of.
Exactly. No, give you 2 more descriptions. So we have one that says supervise staff members regarding their daily task schedule and assist staff members with any issues or inquiry they may have. No, you might say, me never do a supervisor position in my life. So you just as things say yo, me not qualify for this. What if they go feel like me can monitor people? You used to do customer service, right? The person now used to do chat service. So here's where you could add for your resume. Handle 3 to 5 customers simultaneously within any given 5-minute period by implementing proper time management skills.
Yes, sir.
That shows say you understand how to manage multiple people at the same time within such a short time frame. Emphasize your time management skills so they understand say all right, then they not just know to manage people, they know how to operate in a fast-paced environment.
That is it.
Right, so that gives you a lot more credibility. And bear in mind, this doing your resume like this, it's not about sounding more professional. It's about giving more detail and giving the interviewer, the HR manager, a better understanding of what you're capable of. Show
Yes.
them that you know how to transfer your skill from one industry to the other. Because yeah, come from social media marketing and customer service, I know you're an property officer, right? Look at that.
Different.
And the person got the job, by the way. Just putting that out there without any real estate experience.
Yes.
It's all about positioning.
And then can I say something? When persons think about real estate experience, you think about realtors. There are
True.
lots of different job opportunities in the real estate industry
Mm-hmm.
as a whole than just being a realtor. I realize a lot of persons, if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, all social media mostly shows realtors.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go into the space not as a realtor, but as a property officer. And if you want to be a realtor later on, because you'll be making connection, that's a skill as well, you should try to garner, you should exercise. And if you want to transition from property officer to realtor, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it right there. We think about one transition.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a connection and say, all right, work in this industry for this time, get some connections and transition to the realtor. And that is one more jump right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the risk right there would be extremely minimal.
Mm-hmm.
This job could be the bridge job to get the other job.
Exactly.
And bridges obviously minimize risk.
All right,
Yes.
cool. You minimize the
Yes,
risk of
yes.
drowning if you cross by a bridge instead of
No,
swim.
nobody cannot
You
cross.
see me? That is
That
true,
is it,
bro.
man. That is it. And you have to be extremely strategic, and you have to be cognizant of the positioning that you're trying to show.
And you have to know how to actually have or gain transferable skills. Not even gain, identify
Yeah,
your own
yes,
transferable skills.
that is it.
And keep in mind that adaptability and transferable skills are two different things. Adaptability means that you can get put in a work environment and you adapt to the situation very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether you have experience or not, you know how to adapt. But when you have a transferable skill and you transfer to one different career path, then you just bring skills we already have over here and applying them to this career path. It's not about adapting, it's about applying.
Yes.
So it's different.
In terms of this, pivoting from one career path to the next with our qualifications,
Mm-hmm.
we are thinking about it in jumping from one direct job to a different direct job. But how about literally applying to be a supervisor with your regular, everyday, smegy day skills that you have? That is a transition right there.
That
And
is
that
true.
takes risks because in most companies, supervisor positions are coveted. And there's a risk to setting up your thing because an organization that you know, so you someone might not like you. Unfortunately, it's not an ideal world. Someone might like someone else, but how you position yourself minimize the risk and you might get the job.
As we become a supervisor, people have to understand, say, you know how to work efficiently.
Mhm.
You understand the industry and you know how to manage people and you have good leadership qualities. At the end of the day, I feel like leadership qualities should be the prime thing where people get graded off of whether they go become a supervisor or not. Unfortunately, not an ideal world. So as long as somebody have enough experience in the field, them more forget it.
Or they know someone.
Or you know someone. But even if you no, then again, some company corrupt bad, you know.
Lots of companies are good.
Some company corrupt bad, bro.
So, different conversation. different conversation.
Different conversation.
Different conversation.
I feel like if you want to get a supervisor role in a different industry, you have to start from an entry level point of view and then grow in the industry. It go hard if you just jump from one industry and then jump in a supervisor role in one industry, which part you would say you don't have the qualifications for, even though you can use your past skills.
Yes.
Because technically, the example we just give you, that person actually ended up becoming a supervisor. However, the position itself was not a supervisor role. The position just has supervisor responsibilities.
Or rather, they did not advertise the position
as a supervisor
as
role.
one. They positioned it as a different sounding type of role, but you're in charge of person. So really and truly, technically, you are a supervisor.
So even right now, if this person is transitioning from this job to something else, they can now apply as a supervisor.
Yes.
Because they were supervising other staff members. Whether it be menial supervision or major supervision, it doesn't matter. Supervise.
Well, as supervisor.
All you need to know is how to position a skill and make it transferable to any industry.
So we're going to touch on a little bit about adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
Because we spoke about the skills, but once you go into the interview, you would have to show them that they are intrigued by the resume. Yes, all right, this person is interesting based on what they did and based on what they're applying for. They put it a certain way. So it's nice it sounds like they can do it, but you should show them in the interview that I am adaptable enough to use the skills that I'm showing on my resume. We should be the truth, right?
Yeah, don't lie. White lies only. Hey, listen, white lies goes a long way on resumes, bro. White lies go a long way, bro. But now I go tell you to be 100% honest by your resume, but don't be blatantly dishonest.
I can't agree with that at all. I don't believe in.
You don't believe in white lies?
No, I rather not say anything at all. No white lies.
White lies get a long way.
No.
They white lie on the job description. Best believe.
Guess what? We will not stoop to their level. We will not. What? We will not stoop to their level. No,
bro,
we
me I
will
go
not.
Stoop.
No, we will not.
Move them, I'm good, guys.
No, we will not stoop to their level. No, right? I don't agree with that one any at all. We will not stoop to their level any at all. We will be above it, right?
No, they're not paying enough for that.
They're paying you though. We will not. What did Dr. Umar say? No.
All right,
No, brothers.
no.
But no, no, no,
All
no,
right,
no.
okay, okay.
No. Different perspective still, but no. No, that's
All
not
right,
it. That's not the
understandable,
move.
understandable. Cool. Use your own discernment. Hopefully, you have some.
Use your own discernment.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. No. No.
It touched Carl, no? It touched Carl. It touched Carl.
So in terms of this now, in terms of adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
based on the fact that you intrigue them, you can use the skills that you have and fresh eyes basically show them a fresh perspective on how things can be more efficient and how you can make growth it happen a little bit faster rather. Adaptability and using your transferable skills. I personally believe that once you start working in a position, anywhere at all, you should be actively looking on the skills that you are gaining in terms of soft skills and you should be actively trying to upgrade yourself. That's just my personal belief because really and truly anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And now only when you think about anything can happen, when now I think negative.
Yeah.
Someone that you know maybe have a job in a certain company and they may say, oh, you know, say this person is hiring. And from there, you can jump and anything can happen. They can get a job right there. Or it can be another COVID situation, hopefully not, where you just have to you got laid off, you just have to look at your job. Anything can happen really, Andrew. Try to actively accumulate
Mm-hmm.
and actively identify the skills. And even if you're not a adaptable person per se, you have to be. The mindset has to shift. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
adaptable.
Yep.
Have to. Because if you're not adaptable, you're not get a job.
Back to the example that I gave you guys earlier. This person had no experience
Mm-hmm.
in real estate whatsoever. And as Carl mentioned, being adaptable in the interview and showing them that you're actually the person that is being portrayed on the resume goes a long way. Because this person went to the interview, personality was peak, and then it came down to a point where she has no experience in this field. And then there is also another candidate with 10 years of experience in this field. They're the only two candidates left after all of the interviews have been done. Think about that for a second. No experience and 10 years worth of experience. How did the person with no experience get the job?
Underdog energy.
Right? How did the person without any experience get the job? As much as your resume looks nice and everything, if your personality cannot shine in that interview, persons not gonna hire you. So it's all about your personality and your attitude as well. You have to have the attitude that goes with it. Because then it depends on the work environment. Some persons rather hire people with a bit of personality. It makes work easier.
Yes.
It makes going to work not as hard because you have person who don't stuck up, person who easy for work with, person who know how to communicate. That's also the thing. A lot of us in interviews we don't know how to communicate. You get asked a question at the interview and you're buckshot, right? Which happens because it's an interview. Majority of us nervous at times. But at the same time, you need to deliver what you're trying to say. Let them see the value in you. If them a put you up against one 10-year person, you don't have no experience, make them sweat for this side. They have to sweat.
That is it.
We can't, because then can look on the person without any experience and say, we can take the person without any experience. You know. She look like say she will put in the work. She have great attitude. I love her. She look like say she can learn. She will take your work. You see me? She will take away a teacher and make it her own. And then can look on the person with a 10-year experience and be like, with this person, we don't have to do a lot of training. We just take him and fling him on our bus and he's good.
That's true.
But at the end of the day, what am I look for? Are you looking for productivity immediately or are you looking for an employee who will stick with the company for an extended period of time?
That is it.
Because onboarding and hiring, the hiring process for companies is expensive. So you have to think they have to think about things like this. We might think so they don't care, but
They care.
boss, we not feel our budget, you know. This is somebody a job have for when to when we don't know how long it goes stay. Right? So them here are things where you have to consider, even after you write up your resume, you have to see it in the interview.
And then can I just make a quick
Yeah, man.
tangent? The person with the 10 years might come off as extremely arrogant within the interview because they think that they have it in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You might not have anything to do with the person, right? They can just come off as like, I have this in the bag, so I don't have to try as hard because I have the experience.
Exactly.
Sometimes persons they don't want what is that? What is that? and the pottery or the clay, sometimes they don't want the finished product. They want someone that they can build up, that they can make be a
Mold.
company person that will bring a fresh perspective and fresh eyes. And as Rashida said, someone who is not hard to work with. Because if you have 10 years experience in a specific industry,
You're not going to take telling.
not just you're not going to want to take telling, they going to know about you. They must know somebody over way. We can say what the person said upon whatever person is, blah, 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 blah. So then we hear about you. 10 years and anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you leave, they going to know. Especially if it's an industry that's not extremely big. Or that our industry that not many persons go into, they going to hear about you. I think more than likely, they rather take somebody with no reputation than someone where hear something bad about, because that can be a problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
Why jump from here to here if there's an issue?
Exactly.
That is it. So I think that, going into the interview as a person outside of the industry, try to be extra confident, because you can
Not
win.
conceited.
Not conceited, confident.
Confident.
Right? Underdog energy.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Bring your underdog energy. Right? And you can get a job.
You can.
You can.
Alright, so we're not talking about how we change careers without any qualifications. But what people need to understand is qualification and experiences are two different things.
Facts.
Qualification is something you get on a piece of paper. Experience is basically the knowledge and skills where you acquire over the years working in any other industry or field. And it's about applying your experience in a manner which makes you qualify for the job. It's not about your formal education. You can't always get that after the fact.
I like how you said that, because persons don't really take that into consideration in terms of that. You can get it if you're good enough with the resume and you get the job. If you need to upskill to match the current job with the qualification, just upskill. Just do it. Because you're in the job, you'll be getting the experience in the job, plus using adaptability, plus the skills that they have gained from their other job. What you need is like the formal education behind it, and you're good.
And you're solid. That is the thing now. They grow into the formal education after you're in the position. Because we think about it, and I think it's the traditional thinking of growth when it comes on to work in a job that causes this. We think, say, we have to get certified first before we go into a field. Bro, you're not trying to become a doctor or a lawyer. That is not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Some industry need it. Like, depending on what you are doing in a real estate, you're probably going to need a realtor license. So you have to go school. You have to go do the realtor class. I don't recall what it's called. But I know you have to do the class to get certified. But you're not doing the part of the job that requires the certification. So you're going the job, you get the experience in other section of the job, which will then relate to being a realtor. And while you're in that position, you also try to get certified as a realtor. Once you're in the field, get the certification, it's easier for your employer to move you over to that position.
Yes, sir.
So if the position becomes available, they don't have to try look outside. They know that, all right, Carl is qualified, he has the experience, assign him over here.
And he got himself qualified.
Exactly. So some of the time you have to look at it like that. Not everything you need to be qualified first before moving.
Yes. I like how you brought up the whole traditional way of thinking about it, because most persons are looking at a job, most persons who are hiring say, 5 years experience doing this, that. If you look at it how we are looking at it, you just need to use the experience that you have garnered, identify the skills, let them be intrigue them. Go into the interview, show them that I am adaptable enough for this position. Go in. Once you're in, we're giving you guys a framework. Once you're in, you take it upon yourself to get qualified. Once you're in, show them that I'm really and truly interested in here, being here and going here, and it can work. Think about it now. 5 years. Come on, man.
And you know what's so funny? 5 years for an entry level position. That's crazy. Bro, have you guys ever seen that?
You have. Bro. I didn't want to say it, and I'm glad you have seen it. 5 years for entry. Come on.
For an entry level position.
Where I get that from in real life? Let's be real.
With that entry level pay. Keep that in mind.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. Man.
Bro, that's some
to me those type of job openings or postings are like memes. It's like the meme that says, "Oh, when I was 3, I should not have been eating sand, but I should have been investing in the stock market." That's a meme. You're posting memes, bro. Stop it. Get some
Yeah.
help.
That look personal, bro.
Yeah, what for real, man?
That look
Get some help.
personal, bro.
Come on.
What's it? Get some
Come
help.
on. Come on, man. But yeah. Another thing, and we always speak about this networking.
Mm-hmm.
Let your network be diverse and actually keep up with the persons, because really and truly the person that you're not keeping up with can be a plug to a whole new career, a whole new path for you that you
Mm-hmm.
might enjoy. So just do the right network properly. We spoke about it, or she just spoke about it specifically. Show value, because really, and we're looking at this thing like it's an ideal world. If I know that Oshido has value and he can do his work, me personally, it doesn't if he can do your work, get it done and work cool. I know that he can do his work. I will say to the person who is saying, you know that this person can do the work, bro. This person will go above and beyond. This person will lock in and they'll get things done. When I say that, they're going to be looking for that name. When they see the name, they see the resume, right? So try build a network. And I think we said it the last episode. What must I say again? Keep your circle relevant and small.
Yeah. But people have access to them destroy.
Yeah. But keep it relevant and small, because opportunities are out there.
You know, the thing is as well, it's not just about networking, but building genuine network. Let me give you an example of what that means. So I have built a network with a few persons. We haven't talked for, let's say we haven't talked for 3 year, 5 year, right? If I'm to call that person right now and say, XYZ, you have no opportunity, ready, ready to go the extra mile for ensure, say, you know, say, Oshido say, you want this and so what did say this to me the other day, you know. Go make a call and call you back. I have friends, I can call them friends, right? I have friends which part even if we don't communicate for years and me reach out to them and say, bro, I need help with getting in this door or doing this. They not gonna hesitate to make it happen.
That's it.
And I see them for me, bro, I don't care if I not talk for 10 years. If you want help and you know say me can open a door for you, call me. Right? Me we still provide that value. Me still provide that access.
Yes.
Come understand what we build our friendship on, what we build our relationship on. Well, we are big people. You see me? You have to keep the network going, but at the same time, we can't always text every day because
Yeah.
everybody are do their own thing. So at the end of the day, is to find a system where both persons feel comfortable with. Because some people have some network which part. If you're not talk to the person for 1 year, you can't call them back and ask for no help. You can't call them back and ask for no help, bro. That's a shaky network.
Or some people have a network where they talk to them every single day, but they can't nothing for them. To me,
All
that's even
right.
worse.
That's even worse, bro. You just a waste my energy.
Man, no man, we can't be speaking every day, and I can't say, all right, this is what's going on. We can't be speaking every day. I when I think about the opportunity, the second guess you. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
shaky,
We're like, bro, you're shaky.
shaky. Man.
That already tell us you ain't even supposed to talk to them every day. That
That is
already tell us you're not
literally
supposed to
that
talk
is
to
it.
them every day.
That is it. That is it.
And that's something that's for true, bro.
Mm.
You have to build meaningful network. As we say, be equally yoked when you think about your network and building that connection.
All right. So one more thing we can look on is freelancing or part-time work, or even volunteerism rather. Because sometimes you need to just really give away your time to get a foot in to make a person see you here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there you can build up. Get a lack of a better word, get a taste at the job. Get a little bit of experience there. And right there, in terms of that, you can reduce the risk because you're getting a taste of the industry. So you're gonna really see, is this really worth it for me specifically? And why I say me specifically, if it's not worth it for you, maybe you have someone in your network where you can say, alright, maybe this person isn't on anything, maybe this person has been in a situation work wise where they have been not been fulfilled, they have been unhappy. Maybe I can just give this person alley you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you never know. But as I said, just try to get a taste of what's really going on in the industry if you can. Some positions you can't really and truly. But if
That's
you
right.
can, you should.
So once you're able to identify those transferable skills, have great attitude in an interview, manage your fear of failure, you're already there, couple steps ahead
Couple steps
in
ahead.
terms of transitioning.
Yep.
And understand say all of we know have a creative brain. So there is this great tool called ChatGPT. You can try using it. You know, as a matter of fact, here's what I'm gonna do. We're going to create a newsletter that gives you the prompts to show you how to write your resume, how to prepare for an interview, and how to deliver in an interview.
That is it.
So here what we'll go to. We're going to add a link in the description where you can sign up for our newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter and we'll send those to you, the chat GPT prompts, to make this whole thing easy and simple.
Yes.
Because we can't expect you to really take everything from this and apply it immediately. So might tell you if you see certain things in a black and white. I
That
will
is it.
understand that. So we're going to make it easier for you. Now that we talk about how to do it with the risk, but just change your approach. What we need to discuss now is for persons who don't like the whole risk thing.
Risk averse.
You see me? The person who see the risk and be like, nah, risk my stable job right now for do that, you know. Here's how you can do it. Carl mentioned it just a while ago as well. Volunteering work. Depending on the industry you want to go in, you can volunteer. When it comes down to volunteering, a lot of jobs, the entry level is volunteering. Like I was interested in becoming an archaeologist. I am intrigued by past events and I feel like the history has been manipulated, but organic organism never lie. So if you really want to know what took place in the past, the best places to go is with a shovel and a pickaxe and go digging, right? And
Indiana
based
Jones.
on my research, the best way to go into archaeology without any certification is volunteering because they need person to clear fossil sites, right? They need person for a lot of grunt work, a lot of groundwork. Now, if it's a case which yeah, somebody serious enough, then can come so boom and reach out to one of them place here and volunteer. Once you volunteer and get your foot into the door, you can then start say, all right, I am in the door now. You make connection with some scientists. You say, all right, let me start study on the side to get certified. But you also, while in the volunteering era, you kind of get as much knowledge as you can.
Yes.
Right? So it's so my time to minimize the risk. You have to go out there and volunteer. Volunteer is the best way you can go about it. And the Lions Club.
Yes. Because lots of these clubs have persons who have been out there in the world working
Mhm.
really good jobs,
Yeah.
right? In positions, in coveted positions rather. And once you start to volunteer, these persons will see you. You can build connections from there.
Mm.
I'm not saying to go into it specifically just to build connections because there's a lot of things that can be done in the world. Going it with a good intention, but that can be like a second priority to make connections. Because you will make second connection. They'll see this young person coming in and doing what lots of young persons are not doing. Just being there and being active. You can make a difference and you can build your network at the same time off the back of making a difference in the world.
True.
So that's the thing right there. It minimizes a lot of risk because your network can inform you of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You might be in a position where you don't have a job. You literally just resign or something happens. You're there, network, someone asks what's going on, you just tell them normal, and they can't bring you far. Right? And then, in terms of that, the persons, lots of different persons would be in the club.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of pick, choose, and refuse which profession you want to kind of get a taste of through that person. Right? So volunteering is important and it helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
If you want to minimize risk when changing career, volunteering is the best way to go.
Yes, it is. One more thing is upskilling. Some episode on I've been talking about upskilling.
Yeah, upskilling basically in
Yeah,
every
man.
episode.
So you know that you want to make the transition to minimize the risk, not just living in a risk-prone area, not literally, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but you can try to get yourself qualified before you take that leap from your current job to the next. In a totally different industry. Evening classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
University, you can go art. If art has a course that you see that can apply to the next step of your career path. Right? So once you're proactive right there, you can jump in.
Yeah.
And then if it's a course, persons will be in the course that are in the area. I know someone who is doing a course currently. Yeah, person behind the camera. Who is doing a course currently, and she is in class with persons in our industry, and that in itself can assist. So she knows a lot about the thing so far, to be honest. So she use some terminology that I don't know about, but she can have a conversation with them on their level. She can use their lingo, and right there she can get a feel of the industry. And look at that.
And look how much person in a class you can just shoot a message. Job opportunity.
Buff.
Yes, me. Job opportunity,
Yeah,
bro.
just like that.
You have to, if you want to minimize the risk, you have to take the risk by volunteering.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily minimizing the risk, it's deciding what type of risk you're willing to take.
So it's basically practice, guys. You want to learn to swim? Practice in a pool before you go into the deep water.
No, if you want to learn to swim, go to the beach and jump off.
I don't like seawater, so I don't agree with that one. Any other. But you get what we're saying. You get what we're saying. Because, guys, I realize that we're speaking about this a lot. I hope you realize. Every time we say minimize it. Don't get it twisted, no. You can't get rid of the risk.
No.
Any
Can't
at
get
all.
rid of it.
You can't, unless it's your father place.
All if you
And you're not no more picnic. And everybody at the place loves you. Other than that, risk. So going with a solid mentality to get rid of as much risk as possible to have a smooth path. Right.
That is true. And you also have to embrace flexibility as well.
That is it.
Because you have to be flexible when it comes on to transitioning from one career path to another. Because you have to can flow with which part the wind a blow.
Yes.
Where the career path a take you. You have to can move along with it.
The whole idea of jumping from one literal industry to another is a big exercise in flexibility right here.
Exactly.
Right? Because you have to cater your current resume, your current talents and skills to be able to match with that industry standards.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can't do that, and if you have the mentality that, all right, this is how I'm going to do things, it might not work, you might be wasting everyone's time if you can't think about it flexible. Some persons, the reason why they want to leave their current job is because it's not flexible enough. You are the place along. You will pick up some habits, not necessarily bad habits, but some habits that you would have to get rid of to go into a new career path. Lots of self-assessment is needed. And you need to be resilient as well, because really and truly, you might not get one job same time. Right?
That's also the thing, the rush, the haste.
Yes.
We need this to happen now. Yes, when you switch from one career path to the other, nothing is guaranteed. The most you can do is prepare yourself and put yourself in a position which you can get accepted. But if you try to rush the process,
yes,
you just go probably end up harming your opportunity. To tell you the truth, you go end up harming what could have been because you're rushing it. Take your time and build up.
Yep.
It's good if you don't apply to a job but you know say you're there really in a bad position, because at that point in time you take anything we give money. Hopefully not anything. We don't answer the call.
The call of the diddler.
Yo.
Oh gosh.
But for real, you have to serious. You have to flexible but firm in your conviction. And you have to resilient. You need all of these to successfully transition from one career path to the next. And face your fears. You can't get rid of them. The most you can do is face them. Well, I'm not going to say can't get rid of them. But it's harder to get rid of them than it is to face them. So if you face them, it's easier. And faster.
And let's be honest. You don't have a job. One more no, nah, go kill you. Because you don't have one job. Really, actually, you don't have a job and you want to move from point A to point Z.
And you know the thing as well? Self-assessment. Situational assessment. Because if it's a case where you're transitioning from industry, you get your resume right and you apply for one industry which part you're technically not no qualifications. So if that's how you view it, and you get called for an interview, your resume says something, you are qualified. But if you go to the interview and don't get the job, people probably feel like me never qualified, that's why I'm gonna get the job. If you never qualify, you would get the call. So the call shows that you already qualified. So what you need to work on now is your attitude in the interview. Preparing for an interview. And we Jamaicans, we win interviews flying. We win interviews flying, bro.
Them Jamaicans wing interviews flying. Because I have a system in place if I have an interview I'm sure he has a system in
Yeah.
place.
Bro, me win one interview, never again. I only interview my fear. Never again.
I went on one and it was a wing interview. Heard about it today. Have the interview tomorrow, and I didn't like it. I didn't go in there with any confidence, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I got the job on the boat. I didn't feel right, and I was self conscious for a bit because I was like, "Read, what am I doing here?" But yeah,
Yeah.
we don't wing these things. But we prepare.
Yeah.
We
But
prepare.
just keep in mind that once you get the call, you
Mm-hmm.
qualify. I just we
Yeah,
perform now.
man.
Just we stand out.
That's it. Standing out
Isn't it? Sometimes
because
you gotta pop out and show niggas. Isn't it? Yeah, we just do it, bro.
yes, but that's really it. You have to stand out because the 10-year versus the no years. well, well,
All right, that says it
that
all,
says it.
bro.
No, to know, not this in persons with a lot of experience. I'm just saying though.
Person with a lot of experience get complacent. As me saying in a previous episode, person with a cause work harder
Rather
than
than
persons
persons without
without.
a
And because the person without the experience had to make up for the lack of experience, they pop out.
mm-hmm.
And because the person with the experience think that I have all experience, there's no way they can go tell me
arrogance.
no. That conceited behavior, right? Even though it does in certain industry, person with more experience get the job, but it's not always the case. I'm just saying this to say that if you don't have an experience, it's not a complete no for you. Isn't me? You have a chance. Only thing you need are for one of them to mess up. That's all you need, you know. You just need somebody with experience to drop the ball.
We're not saying to prepare don't fall, but we don't mind.
Facts. You just need to get lucky one time.
Yeah.
And them just need to salt one time. That
Yes.
is
That
all.
is it. That is it. That is it. That
Yeah.
is it. The thing though that I'm sure you guys are waiting on is the money aspect of it. You wanna make the transition save. Start save. Try to always have some emergency funds available because these things can take a while. And without that safety net of money, you're gonna get desperate. And the fear is gonna
Mm-hmm.
kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Once the fear and desperation kick in, you might see it as a bigger risk than it actually is. And you might just take something just because. Right? We're
Mm-hmm.
not saying desperation isn't real. It's real, yes, but save money. Because one of the reasons I personally think persons transition from one career path to the other is the money. Now, gonna keep telling you, we need money. And if you realize that your skills aren't being applied enough, if you
Mm-hmm.
realize that you can go out to a different place and be happier and have relief and get more money, raise your hand if you feel you're going to take a risk.
Persevere can raise their hand. Just like I don't know.
yeah,
Just like
so
I don't know.
yeah, but yeah, man, you have to manage your finances. You have to look on all of that. If you have a savings going on, you have to put on some extra money for the saving. If you have insurance going on, put on some money for insurance. If you have a car payment, see if you can pay off a portion of it before,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the thing that is really unsaid is health cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you come out of a job now, you have a health card, so anything
Mm-hmm.
happen, you can go to the doctor easily without
Yeah.
really thinking about it. But the health card thing. So try to be prepared, reduce the risk, and increase the chances of getting into the industry as fast as possible to get access to one more health card.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but people depend on it. You depend on it, right? We know what's going on. So that's a way to like minimize your risk, guys.
Strategic with the risk
Come on, you have a
taking.
strategy,
Very
extremely
strategic
strategic,
with the risk taking.
extremely strategic, because it can be a situation where you're leaving the job, where they're letting you go, anything. But if you get enough time, be like Batman, prep time.
And so be like Batman.
Like prep time. The only thing you need is prep time, guys. Right? Well, all you need is prep time.
True.
Have anything else to say about that? The money aspect?
What's up? Money I hear domain, you know. We talk about my domain already. Money I hear
Yeah,
domain in
man.
general.
Yeah, you have a prepare, man. Financially, man.
At the end of all of it, believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to make that transition. Because you can do it. Fear is something you probably go find hard to get rid of. So do it scared anyways. Alright? Take a time and make the transition.
Yes.
If it's something we really want, you will put in the time and effort into achieving it, and you will achieve it. Just prep. Especially if you're there at Jamaica, I can tell you a lot of persons in Jamaica don't prepare for interviews. So you see, if you just get lucky one time and you prepare and pop out and show out, it increases your chances a whole lot. So just remember, say, your competition are only competition if you don't prepare. If you prepare, they're no longer competition.
No longer.
Remember, right? So preparation is key. Positioning is key. Approach is key. Be strategic with it because you can do it.
You can do it.
If you could do it, you would even have the idea, say you could have.
You're gonna do it,
In the
it'll make
first
fear
place.
paralyze you.
Yeah,
For ever think about it in the first place.
exactly. So believe in yourself. And you can do it. Yeah. To be honest, I hope you find a lot of value in this episode. You know, think we provided a lot of
Yeah.
insight.
And the newsletter will provide in-depth insights.
Yeah. So you can comment below anything else, any other topics you would like for us to speak on, anything else you'd like to hear, anything else you'd like for us to implement. Remember, you can share your career story with us at Beyond the 95 Podcast at gmail.com.
Link and the email is in the description. You can find us on TikTok and on Instagram as well. Hot clips.
At Pips.
Hot clips.
Remember, career, purpose, truth.